evening, guys. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of We Are the Community. Tonight we have a very special guest. You guys may know him from the community. He's actually moderator in a couple of groups that I know of. He is very active in the community as well. And I am very happy to introduce to you guys my friend JP. What's going on?
Wow. Wow, that's some bullshit.
Oh man, what's going on, my friend?
You son of a Well, hello everyone. I am not JP.
Oh man. Let me fix it. Let me fix it real quick. Oh man, that was great. I was supposed to do it before we started and then I got sidetracked. Hold on. Well, go ahead, introduce yourself. Say hello to the chat.
What's up, everybody? Will Coté here. Like he said, I'm, a member of 1/6 Evolution. You probably see me around Facebook, just busting chops and leaving pictures.
This is Flavio's nemesis right here.
Flavio, are you here? Because look, I got some shelves behind me.
He should be here. I think he's coming. Let me see who's in the house tonight. J-Bo's in the house. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Look at Austin. What's going on, my friend? Harold in the house. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Boba Fettuccine. What's going on? We got Fabs just sent me a message saying he loves you. This guy. Talk to our guests. Don't talk to me. Here for you guys.
Austin always messages me nonstop how much he misses me. So
all the time.
I guess it's a full circle.
Yeah, he's projecting. Unbelievable. My friend Tyria, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Leighton in the house. What's going on, my friend? Oh my God! Finally. Oh man, you guys.
Yeah, Austin would harass me in Messenger and be like, "When are you gonna be on Fab's channel?" Like.
Yeah, well, anybody who wants, hey Hector, what's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. I ask everybody, I always say in my streams, you guys want to come on, just message me. I'm still waiting on a couple people to let me know. And they want to come on, but they never follow through. So all right, so yeah. First and foremost, let everybody know where you're from, how old you are, and what got you into collecting. What was your first item, if you remember, or items, what your first line? Let them know.
My name's Will Coté. I'm here in sunny Colorado Springs. I think it's snowing again right now. I've been collecting just random things my entire life. The first couple things I remember back in the late 80s were the Secret Wars Marvel toys with the little lenticular shields that you would move them and like the picture would change. I think I actually still have my Captain America. His little wings have rubbed off. The paint's all fucked up, but it's pretty old. From there, I remember the Batman toy from the first Michael Keaton movie where he had the little yellow utility belt on the zip string where you could pull it out and it would retract back into his waist. But I am 38 years old, so that was me saving up some, allowance money and stuff like that to
allowance.
Yeah, like you get like $1 like a month for being a kid. And you're like, oh man, that's big money.
You would save it up. You would save it up and buy your stuff like that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
From there, I ended up buying, a whole lot of Power of the Force, Star Wars toys, the old green card ones when they started doing those in the, what was that, mid to late 90s, right when they were re-releasing the special edition in theaters of Star Wars. And used to save my lunch money and not buy lunch at school and save those for toys. So that was, sorry, Mom and Dad.
you were very like big. I'm gonna say you really wanted your toys. You really liked your toys.
Oh yeah, I had so many Star Wars toys of the 3.5 inch little dudes, or 3 3/4 inch. From those late 90s again, when they started releasing the first 12-inch Hasbro um, ones of that actually had like the actual clothing and stuff like that. That was when I started buying the 12-inch figures. And you know, most of my adult life I've been in the military. I just retired from the Army in October, so did my 20. Now I'm done. And now that I am making better money in the civilian world, I can focus more on the quality over quantity of being a 1/6 scale collector. Because I also skipped a big chunk there. Austin knows this. Funko Pops. I did that for a little while of because they're like you can get them for $5, $6, $7, and it's like I love all these characters, but my wife Evelyn, when we got together, she hates clutter, and Funko Pops are the definition of clutter. And so I started figuring out how to offload them. I found some local shops around here that they can flip a Funko Pop way quicker than they can flip a hot toy, because it is a different crowd sometimes that is buying the 1/6 scale figures. And so store my local mall was selling some hot toys, and they were always there because no one would buy them, because no one goes to the toy store in the mall to drop money. So I was like, yeah, I'll do in-store credit. And he was like, oh, really? And brought a couple hundred pops.
What the hell? A couple hundred?
Oh yeah, I
My
posted this on your group when I got rid of all the pops finally. I ended up with like a Thrawn with a command chair, like a copper stormtrooper, shore trooper, like a Bosk with two heads. Like I came home with like 8 figures. And my wife was like, "How much did you just spend?" And I was like, "Nothing. It was all Funko."
Oh my god.
And that was when I really started the trading of some of the figures, because I've been, you know, I you know, a lot of my collection is geared towards Star Wars. I have some more detolfs around the corner that have all of my non-Star Wars figures, but it's 8 detolfs of Star Wars and 4 detolfs of not Star Wars. So obviously, but I cycled through on Star Wars toys where it was like I enjoy the sequel trilogy for what it is, because I love all Star Wars. I'm one of those, I guess, more rare Star Wars fans where I don't find anything to be upset about, because I'm just happy that there's new Star Wars. And so I had a Kylo, I had a Rey. I was like, okay. But then I had them mixed with sequel trilogy, mixed with prequel trilogy, mixed with Clone Wars. And so I was like, all right, well, let me pick a couple more direct avenues, because like I said, quality over quantity. And even when it's quality objects, it still becomes you know too much sometimes. And so that's why I've just been trying to focus. So the 4 behind me are all prequel Clone Wars stuff, even though the light's being a little weird
Yeah.
way
Well,
back there.
we're gonna get into the whole
Yeah, yeah,
collecting
yeah.
tour anyway. So Jable says, William, thank you for your service. Yes, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Now, question for you about the Funko Pops, because even though we deal and we're more involved or mostly involved in 1/6 scale, I feel like everybody in this community knows about Funkos.
Yep.
What was it about the Funkos that made you, get started and get out of it? Because you don't seem to have any right now, right?
I might have like 3 or 4 that aren't in boxes, that are just random,
Gotcha.
like I have like a storage room off to my left.
Why the Funko Pops? What did you see it first? What made you say, you know what, I want to try this?
Years ago, I just saw one in a store, and it was just like, oh well, you can have so many different things that you love that they were making pops of that, they didn't necessarily have figures of. And it was, as we've seen with everything, prices keep going up, but Funkos have remained relatively affordable. Even, back in the day, buying those, and I focused on those for a while, and Black Series Star Wars, for the 6-inch figures. But it would just be like, I like this show, they're releasing more pops, and of random Star Wars characters, obscure characters, supporting cast and stuff like that. And it just became a whole lot of fun of being like, I can buy, 6 pops for sometimes about $30 or so, especially when GameStop does like the buy 2, get 1 free or stuff like that. And then it's like, I have the full cast of this show, and yeah, they're just sitting on a shelf. And I had a bunch of the old school, like, bookcase style ones where I just had them stacked in there. And, they weren't too bad, but they did start being clutter.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, so what makes you say, you know what, this is enough? How many did you have total, first of all? Like your at your peak, and then what makes you say, you know what, I'm done with this?
I probably had about 300 or 400 altogether. And it was really when I started buying Hot Toys, where it was just because I've followed Hot Toys pictures for years. I've seen other collectors. I have a friend out in California named Pat Loika who does a lot of stuff in the comic book world and photography and stuff like that. And he was always posting his new Hot Toys, and watching that for 10, 15 years of these really nice looking toys, where it was just like, it's a little bit out of my price range, where buy one thing or buy 20 things. And so I was doing the buy the 20, and then all of a sudden you have 300-400 pops. And then when Funko released their app where you can scan the barcode on the bottom of the box with your phone, and it would bring up the pop price guide charts of how much ones were trending for and whatnot, that was when I really was like, well, I can get rid of these and actually, make my money back, because I wasn't buying them for collecting or for, flipping for a profit. It was just because I enjoyed the characters and whatnot. But like, I had like the Heisenberg from Breaking Bad that was made out of blue crystal, so it was like the blue meth one. And when I got rid of that, it was trending for like $400 or $500. And it's like, that guy was real happy to take it for store credit.
Right.
But
One thing, another thing. I was speaking with, I think it was Graham. So shout out to Graham. I don't really know much about the Funko world at all. I know what they are, but I don't really know. So I asked him. I said, are they valuable? Like, can you get really good ones? And he sent me a link. I forget which one it was, but it was like $5,000, something like that. And I
was
was
it solid? Was it gold looking?
maybe, I don't remember what the hell it was. But
Yeah,
well,
they had a sheriff Hopper from Stranger Things that they released like 30 of them, and whenever they sell, they go for like $5,000 plus.
honestly, I don't remember what the character was, but I was like, "Are you crazy?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, they go for that high, and I was like, "That's insane." I never thought those little things would ever have any value like that. But again, it's cool that that if you get a good one, you know what I mean. There's
Yeah,
some value there.
a
Um,
couple of years ago, I was stationed in Washington. That's where Funko headquarters was. I think they're moving to Arizona or something, is what they just said. But there they would do like local little Everett releases were in Everett, Washington, and they'd be like, they'd release 50 of something, and it would be the only 50 of them made, and people would go ape shit trying to get their hands on them. And I wasn't down for, standing in line for days trying to buy a pop or anything like that. But, more power to them if they're having fun with it. Maybe
right,
if they're making money, it
right.
is what it is.
Exactly, that's true. Tuli, my friend, what's going on? Thank you for being here tonight with us. The Thor, my friend, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by, hanging out with us tonight. Let me see if anybody has a question, comment. Funko Pops are what got me in this hobby. William knows I just got rid of a couple hundred too. They have a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Stuck at the series, Marvel Legends and Hot Toys is lowering a road, pulling me out. Oh my god. Mike, my friend, what's going on? Thank you for being here tonight. Bobby, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by tonight. The most expensive one I have is a Hot Topic exclusive Captain Rex. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Like, what's a Hot Topic? Is that like the clothing?
It's a store in the mall. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I'm like, I didn't know they had their own Funko.
Yeah, they just slap a sticker on it and they only sell it at that store.
Oh, so it's like the GameStop exclusives.
Yeah. So basically, every store ended up getting a exclusives every time there's a comic convention or something like that. They have what are called shared exclusives. So it'd be like if you're not at New York Comic Con, this one will be on Amazon only. This one will be at GameStop only.
Gotcha.
And it used to be the stickers were different, where it would say New York Comic Con and then say Fall Con on the one that was released at the shared store. Now they generally have the same sticker on both, so it's not the same hunt that people had of trying to get both versions of the sticker and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Jable says, I'm in Everett, Washington. Funk is huge here.
Yep.
Tuli says, I was also in FabsFigures Rabbit Hole. Oh, yeah, those are cool. Those SH ones are cool. Fab was obviously never emo. Absolutely not. Definitely not. Tuli says, hit that like button. Yes, please, guys, hit that like button for me. So now getting into the Hot Toys world. Where was it? You know, what year was it? When was it? When did you see, or when did you first notice that one Hot Toy, your very first Hot Toys that you were like, you know what, I need to get this thing?
Facebook Memories actually just told me the other day that 5 years ago, in December, I got my 1/1 scale Baby Groot and Ravager get up, who just happens to be next to me because he's on this little display over here. And so that was my first hot toy, even though it wasn't 1/6 scale. But I bought him, and he started traveling the world with me and taking pictures. Like, he went to Disneyland, he went to Emerald City Comic Con back when I was still doing a whole lot of photography. And so, like, he was photographed with all of the guests and all of the cosplayers and everything else. And he was a lot of fun, so I bought that. And then I was just like, all right, let me look at, getting more figures. And I started, falling down the pre-order rabbit hole, where it was like, oh, this figure looks great. And then it's like, oh, expected in like 18 months. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll do this. And that was when I was still doing them on a payment plan. And instead now I just pay them, and then I don't think about it till it ships.
Right.
Because, like I said, I'm doing a little bit better in the civilian world because, the military is the military. Right. And, there's a reason that a lot of military people get out and they do basically the same job in the civilian world and, get compensated a little bit better.
Right.
So, as you can see behind me, there's Willow, pet free home.
Yeah, exactly. Brand new sealed, pet free, smoke free, pet free home.
Yep.
Oh man, so that's crazy. So 5 years ago, you bought two figures that neither of them were a 1/6 scale. Now, what was your first 1/6 scale?
The first that I ordered, or the first that I actually got?
Yeah, the very first one.
I pre-ordered the Endgame cap the day it was announced.
Endgame cap, okay.
And then it was, delayed like almost like two and a half years.
Right.
Because I ordered it in Alaska when I was stationed there, and I had to change the mailing address to Colorado when I moved here, and then I had to change the address again when we built our house.
Oh.
And so there was about almost 3 years in between ordering it and when it also showed up. So yeah, that was the first one I ordered. And then before I physically had that in hand, I had probably 20 or so.
We were just ordering. You were not even displaying them. We were just ordering.
Well, I ordered him, and it was like, yeah. And then I started joining these groups on Facebook and stuff, and people, basically doing bargain bin
Right.
stuff where sometimes it's like, oh, that figure looks really cool, and I didn't know about checking prices and stuff. And I never really overpaid for anything, I don't think. Like, I bought like an Emperor in the Throne from somebody that was selling it on eBay, and I got it for like 350 or something, and I thought that was a pretty good price.
That's,
And now I see people trying to scalp those for a decent amount.
yeah,
So
that's true. Now, so you get your Captain America, but I feel like you've been collecting longer than that, though. No.
for 1/6 scale,
Yeah, like I feel because think about it. The Captain Americas was how long ago? Last was it?
uh,
Was it?
it released like a year and a half ago, but
Yeah, last.
I ordered it 2 years before that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's been over, and it was like 2 years. Yeah, so that makes sense.
yeah,
That's why I was like, why does it feel like it? Because we just got that figure, so I'm like, but I
yeah.
feel like it's been. So it makes sense. That's why I was like, what's going on? Wait, so is he we say he says Will also cosplay. Is that true?
You've seen the costumes, Fabs.
I know that, but let them know. Why are you telling me?
Yeah, is that true? No.
On your page.
Yeah. So I do a little bit of cosplay. I participate in different charity events and go to hospitals. Um, Before COVID, I used to do like monthly rounds where they would invite Captain America to go and visit kids in the ICU and stuff like that. Try to cheer up some kids, surprise them. We do the soccer games here, baseball games, where like the professional teams and stuff, give us tickets for our families and whatnot and invite us. Then we just go and interact with people during, the game and halftime and whatnot. Yeah, so I've been doing that for quite a while,
That's awesome.
about a decade or so.
Before says William, your dog is out for the count in the background. You better check on him. he wasn't. He hasn't moved.
Yeah, she's looking at me, but it's
Oh my god.
she wants to go upstairs because that's where all the kids are, but she's not allowed to go unless I tell her.
I gotcha. Now, what about what's your favorite costume to wear? What do you usually wear? What do you have?
My two go-tos are my Captain America, which is the Civil War Captain America costume, and my Batman, which is a combination. It's a Batman hush cowl with a Dark Knight Returns inspired muscle suit for that one. Those are my two go-to. I built a Doctor Doom back in the day from scratch that I really liked. Well, everything from the neck down I built. The mask was actually right over there. Was old previews exclusive Doctor Doom wearable mask that they had back in the day. And then I went to Home Depot and bought a bunch of sheet metal and learned how to rivet and whatnot, and actually made a full metal Doctor Doom costume. But that shit was heavy. So you know, Doctor Doom was fun. I've done a bunch. I have a Mandalorian original character that I made that one from scratch. Um,
I was
I've
going to ask you, are they expensive? Because they look like they like the muscle like tone on those things. I'm like, they got to be.
well the more you pay for cosplay or the more work you put into making it yourself, generally the more money involved means it's going to look a little bit nicer. Um, there's large communities for makers and stuff like that in the cosplay world too, that a lot of people know the names. If you're a Batman cosplayer, there's like your 5 or 6 go-to names that their stuff is you get what you pay for. And, if somebody's like, oh, I'll make that for you. And normally you see them for $400 or $500 for like a really nice cowl or something. And somebody's like, oh, I could do that for $50. Then you get some Halloween Ruby's mask that, is all dilapidated and you look like Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Leatherface.
But yeah. And I do a lot of mix and match stuff where it's like you buy something and you try to repurpose it. Like my Captain America helmet is, like the mask helmet is a Cat Toys 1/1 replica that they say isn't designed to be worn, but a lot of cosplayers buy it, use a little bit of a heat gun on it and whatnot, mold it to your head, and magically it fits.
Oh, that's awesome.
Put a little foam on the inside just so it feels a little bit better. But
yeah.
It says I'd go as the Fat Thor.
Austin says, if I showed up as Captain America, the kids would be like, aren't you a little short for a cap? You got to let them know you're pre-super soldier serum.
Yeah. Austin with his little dude complex.
Oh man, you got to tell them. Be like, we didn't get the injection yet. Oh man, there's that also one of the business kids Captain America in the hospital. Absolutely, yeah. No, that's awesome. Very cool. I go as fast towards the cafeteria. Oh my god! So now, this is a new question for you because obviously, like, I know you're more involved with what goes on, in the community. So, how do you feel about what's going on right now with, when it comes to like the amount of figures that Hot Toys is making, the value of them, the competition from like, companies like InArt, everything that's going on that's obviously not anywhere near like what was happening, when you started 5 years ago, 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about that's going on?
I really enjoy the third-party figures that I see because even if they're not like the highest of quality, where it'll be, this isn't quite the same quality as Hot Toys. It goes back to my love of customizing figures or buying like the million pops because you could have more. And it might not be the character that you have at the front of your display, but it might be a nice little help on the side. Like my Jack Sparrow around the corner is the DX15, and in the case with him is the Lord of the Caspian Sea, aka Hector Barboza, and they look really good together as long as you don't take Hector's hat off because his hair is kind of bad. InArt, some of the figures look real nice. We haven't really seen them in everyone's hands yet. I do plan on buying the Daenerys Targaryen one when that comes out because I have a big Game of Thrones display around the corner as well. If it looks like these other ones, like if Aragorn comes out and it looks like how those pictures looked, great. Cool.
Right.
Because I see people buy head sculpts for quite a bit of money just for the head.
Just for the head.
And right? I know we were joking on, the bodies being the generic bodies, but if the body does its job, it's wearing the clothes and whatnot. It's not like, okay, well, this, it's like the new Bane body and whatnot. But I know you hit on that on the Saturday show. But
well, one thing, so funny you bring that up. So what do you think specifically about that body? Because obviously you saw the picture, you saw how it was chopped up by the forearms, and then, what do you think of that? Like, what do you think of a company that is being put on a pedestal right now without any product in hand, right? And then you see, because obviously that was one of the things that they were claiming in the beginning was, we're making our bodies, but we're using a special body, right? Nobody ever thought that they were going to chop it up. You know what I mean? We just figured, they have history in the community. They come from statues, so you would think by now, it's not a 2-year-old company, it's not a 5-year-old company. I'm assuming it's at least 10 years old. I'm just going to assume because I know nothing about them.
Yeah.
If you're getting into this 1/6 skill game, you would assume that you want to go do some research and you're gonna look at who's at the top, right? And at the top we have Hot Toys. All you got to do is buy a single Hot Toys figure, and you see everything is branded Hot Toys. Everything is made by Hot Toys. Everything is just very united, very unified. You know what I mean? Everything's just one piece. But now you get in art. Okay, let's assume they're making their own clothes. Fine, but where are they getting these bodies from? You know what I mean? So now they're charging premium, even on top of the number one company that's out right now. They're charging more money than that, right? And they're not even making their own, their entire product 100%.
Yeah.
But they're charging you, as if they were making everything from scratch. What do you think about that?
It is a little. When I saw that Joker body without the clothes on it, I was like, "Huh, okay." Like you would expect that it would be a higher quality body because of the higher quality price, but they're not the only company in the world that will, let's buy in bulk from somebody else and use it for ours. So it's like I said, if the bodies hold up and, like you said, they don't have any product out. There's a couple, like a dozen or so random people in the world that have already received one. Maybe after Chinese New Year, there'll be some more. But even then, it's like it's just like Hot Toys. They don't release their production numbers and whatnot. And I think they were, dipping their toe in the water of what their price points would be, and people jumped on them.
Right.
But then you also have, like I was listening to some in-art people talk about one of their things in Vegas where they had like the life-size bus or whatever, and it had rooted hair, and they were like trying to find a salon that was open that with like a person that would actually mess with the hair because it looked all, messed up after traveling to Vegas. And it's going to be the same thing with these figures where you pull it out of the box and maybe the hair still looks good when you pull it out. But then if it starts, throwing up or becoming all discombobulated and, speaking for myself, I don't know how to do hair on a doll. So, I have daughters. Like I've tried my best to do it on human beings, and I would say that it's turned out okay-ish sometimes.
It's not the same.
I know. And so then you go to synthetic hair, and then you're like, let's try to make this. Like, I have my Anakin Karen back there from Alpha Toys, and I went, and gave it a good old army try with the hair, and I think it turned out all right. Better than it was out of the box. But
Karen.
Yeah. So it's like, and that's with a figure that was like $150. Right. If I get a $500, premium toy and it looks like, it stuck its finger in an electric socket and, just shot out like, what was that movie? Young Frankenstein with the Mel Brooks movie. Yeah. And so if that's what this $500 thing looks like shortly after taking it out of the box, that's going to piss off a whole lot of people because you're buying it for what it's supposed to look like, not like, because I saw the maintenance guide. Did you see that video or whatever they put out for Joker?
I was going to say, they have to give you some type of instructions on how to play with the hair, right?
They did a video where it shows like using tweezers and stuff to tighten his tie and doing all these things, wearing little like white gloves and like messing with all these like little itty bitty thing. Austin said he said doll. Whatever. Shut up, Austin.
Well, is this true also? You make dials? Is that true?
I have been experimenting in doing a little bit of diorama type stuff. Like if you see behind me the Boba and the throne, I made those stairs.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna get it, but you do make stuff.
I do.
Okay, good. All right, awesome. No, that's good to know. That's good to know because I could get some free stuff. Carl, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Welcome. Austin says, I'm obviously just pro Will. Oh my god. Fans was behind you. Oh, me.
Your million shippers.
So this is the movie promo battling version Spider-Man. This is the mech test Tony Stark. I just got them today. So I can't wait to open those. I got a bunch of stuff coming in, so I'm excited about that. They're shipping Loki's on Wednesday. Well, they're charging Loki's on Wednesdays. So anybody waiting for Loki, stay tuned for that email. Let's see. Yeah, Will is killing it tonight. How do you know these guys, Will?
I don't know. Austin slid into my DMs and he hasn't left me alone.
Yeah. He's a creep. He's a creep. Look at this guy. How are you on my channel typing this nonsense? What is this? You're in the wrong place, okay? You're in the wrong place. Let's see. Austin. Random people. Whatever. Luis, my friend, what's going on? Thank you for being here. He said doll. Everyone get him.
Austin, you need to stop sending me such hateful messages on Facebook Messenger.
Oh my God. Hate mail. Thursday, I don't think Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah. Am I late? Of course. When are you not? Unreal. Unbelievable, this guy. I don't think Queen Latifah is coming over the beauty. He said, oh, that's what he's talking about. I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
I was like, I don't get the reference until the beauty shop thing. There we go.
So now, and I asked everybody this: if you were the owner of Hot Toys, what would you do differently with the company right now in any way, shape, or form? Whether it's more licenses, more figures, less figures, whatever, however you would run your business.
I really like how EXO, I think EXO is does the Star Trek toys where they announce it when it's ready.
EXO 7?
Yeah, it's like they announce it because it's ready, and they have a certain number of figures made, and when it sells out, they're done.
And that's the best way to do it.
And if Hot Toys had things actually ready when they announce them, and maybe like it's saying, okay, you have 90 days, and at the end of that 90 days, they're that's it, and then they ship. That would be something fun. But focusing more on lesser known, I know they're expensive to make, expensive for R&D, the artists and everything else, and the whole reason they make a million Iron Mans and everything else is they can reuse parts and reuse molds, and I get it. But like, oh, let's pick this random Star Wars character, that a lot of people want, customs of, and let's do a Hot Toys quality one, even whether it's a con exclusive or whatever, just doing more stuff like that with, not the break the bank numbers that they tried doing while those still, the armor is available on discount every other day because, they made way too many. But, doing a Darth Revan or doing, more expanding on their lines that they have, because, Sideshow itself trying to do the animated Clone Wars line, it's okay trying to give people options, but within the Hot Toys Star Wars license, there's so many figures that they haven't, even attempted. And yeah, when they do the, what is it, the purgatory where you go onto the coming soon section and it's like stuff that's been there. Yeah, Obi-Wan with armor is off of there now. Padme's finally off of there now. But there's, if you're going to announce it less than 3 years before you even bring it up for pre-order, and then make everybody wait a year to 2 years before it's released, and that's why there's so many people with like the buyer's remorse where they cancel their pre-orders, they lose their deposits. And so shorter windows would be something that I would try to do if I was, replacing Howard Chen.
That's a good point, because I think that'll number one, it would 100% kill a bunch of issues. You know what I mean? Like, for example, once you even, and you don't have to even number them. You know what I mean? Like we always talk about limited, but if you already have a certain number, a certain amount that you want to make whatever money you need to make. Once you have that figure ready, just boom, put it up for sale. Let them sell, and that's it. It is what it is. But obviously, too much common sense to do that.
Yeah, and I get it. They're a Hong Kong based company that does worldwide distribution and different markets. I probably buy things at a different rate, and I get it.
Right.
But it's just like like during COVID when it was like, oh, there's 10,000 boats that can't unload, and it was like, huh.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
remember that. I remember that. Yep.
like, that sucks.
What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Graham says, nice to put a face to the name. Look at that. You have another stalker in the house. Unreal. Let's see. Hector in the house. If I was Howard Chan, I'd release a different IP. Oh, look at that. Which one?
Yeah.
Hector.
Doing different intellectual properties would be, the way of drawing in more people. But
I was going to say, what would you do if you had to pick one? Like, what would you do? What would you focus on as the CEO of Hot Toys?
That's a hard one.
Because
like a lot.
Your favorite, what is your very, very oh my god, this is my favorite movie of all time?
Well, that's Star Wars. That's me in a nutshell.
So that's your main focus. It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
But doing just like TV shows and whatnot that have memorable characters. Like this is why I Kit Bash characters, Breaking Bad, stuff like that. I have like all my little cases of blue meth, fake meth, YouTube, don't bring this down. Little packets of the blue rock candy and stuff because it's fun. It's a memorable show. It's every now and again you have a third party company that releases a figure and I'm like, ooh, it'd be great if Hot Toys did this. They won't. But like Sopranos, like when they released that Fat Tony toy or whatever it was called, like, it didn't really look too much like James Gandolfini.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was crappy. I was like, this is not good at all.
But, for a hardcore Sopranos fan,
right.
It's like, if it's the only thing you're going to get, then, it's like, okay, like you could buy, like I could buy it for, one of my coworkers or something that won't shut up about the Sopranos. This is a true story that's going on right now. They won't shut up about it at work. And, Sopranos ended in when? 2004?
Years ago, yeah.
And it's like, people still talk about it. And so you would think that if, you would release, because of a line, I know Hot Toys is trying to do lines. And, it's like, okay, these are all from this show. This is all, from this one. And you want something that you can churn out more from. But it was just like with Avatar, they only released Jake Sully from the first movie, right?
Yep.
And now they're up to 2 new ones for the next movie. But, Avatar, still the highest grossing movie of all time because it did pass Endgame again when they re-released it again, just because they wanted to be number one.
Yeah.
And they released one figure from it, which apparently sold pretty good because, people still, I know right now the interest is kicked up because of the new movie, but because that's what every time a sequel comes out, everybody always is looking for the older stuff again. But, you have the highest grossing movie of all time, you release one toy. Okay. And then you have, lower ones as like, like the Alita Battle Angel figure looks really nice.
That was a good one. That was a good figure.
And there is talk that they're trying to get a sequel going. Because it's Robert Rodriguez made the movie. It's like, it's not like it was some unknown director. And, it's,
no, it's true.
Focusing on the smaller stuff or, just stuff that hasn't had toys made might be a way to draw in new fans, but just picking like out of the air, it's like just random movies. Like, we see so many like the Last Samurai toys that have been released. Have you seen those ones of Tom Cruise and the Shogun and not Shogun, the other ones that he lived with? No.
What brand is this?
I don't recall the brand, but the armor on them and stuff I think is like real metal, and the head sculpts are actually
Oh,
pretty.
that's something after tomorrow figures.
I think
War of
so.
Tomorrow or something.
Something like that. But I always see these in people's display and stuff, and it's like these look really nice. Even the rooted hair Tom Cruise one that you have to mess with. But it's like you could tell who they are. It's like they're representing that movie. They put in a lot of effort into making these. It's not just some of the ones that I've seen from some third party companies where you open the box and it's no longer what they showed you in the pre-order window. But
Austin,
yeah.
Austin says, I think my answer to Fabs was the best. Please do whatever.
Shut
Unbelievable.
up, Austin.
Hector says, go back to Phil Carrick. Oh, yeah, true. Very true. Very true. How they were. Yep. If you guys are talking about barges and we're stuck with a sea, that's still. Oh, my God. Still? No way. I thought that was over. The new IPs have to make sense money wise. Purchasing. Yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah.
That's very true. Because if you start making lines that nobody's going to buy, then, makes no sense. Planet of the Apes. Yeah, Hot Tooth made Planet of the Apes years ago. Many, many years ago. It was one of their very first lines. Licensed lines. Eric, what's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. I haven't seen you in a while. Slacking. Some supporter you are. Unreal. Austin says, I've never seen it. Yeah, me neither. I've never seen The Sopranos. Not a single episode. I know what it is. I've seen like YouTube clips, but never a whole Sopranos are good. Yes, yeah, I've never watched it.
Also, another thing I would change if I was Howard Chan is actually finishing lines. Because, like Rogue One, where you just left off a couple main characters.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that they do that on purpose because they, the last ones that they did were what? They did the Shore Trooper Leader, wasn't it? That was one of the last ones they did. And then before that, it was the tank, assault tank, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right? So they're still making figures from the line. I don't think they're done. I don't think they're done with Rogue One.
It's just like, I want them to come out of left field like they did with the Days of the Future Past Wolverine. That just all of a sudden when they put him up and it was like, hey, another Wolverine, like, cool, for newer people that don't have a Wolverine,
right.
That really wanted one, that's cheaper than buying the Days of the Future Past one in the uniform that I see go for a pretty penny. But, it'd be like, all right, it's been, 2 years since we announced a figure for Rogue One. Let's put up, Andor, and it can, be for Andor and Rogue One. Let's put up, Baz.
Yep.
And so that way you can have Baz with Chirrut.
Yep.
And, actually.
And I think that
like you don't have to release them all at one time because I get it. They're expensive. But if you just keep it going, and even if you did the whole, if the wait list thing is actually real, where it's like once it's gone, great, do it.
Right.
And then, or do like the con exclusives, or like even switch to a model like the HasLab, where it's like if we don't get a certain number of backers, we won't make it.
Right. No, it's true, and it's annoying too because, it's we never know what they're gonna make, and sometimes we get an announcement and it's, even if it's a 2.0 or 3.0, it's annoying because it's like we want different stuff. You know what I mean? And they just keep repeating the same character, different ways, but it's like, man, like, come on, like something different. Brick Artemis says, I'd kill for a William Wallace. Oh, I think he messed up your last name.
No, he's talking about Braveheart.
Just kidding. This guy's like, no.
No, I'm not JP, damn it. Flavio's here trying to talk shit, but it's not landing.
Flavio, will you have us? Oh, look at that.
A lot of space, but I have a lot of stuff in my space.
He's got an open area with stuff in it, Flavio.
I got this crazy long couch.
He's got the horseshoe couch. Let's see. Flavio in the house. Flavio in the house. Wait, something just happened on my computer. Flavio, what's going on? Thank you for being here. An all white bed. What the hell?
I don't know.
He's just being weird. So now,
No, Flavio, I will not go to bed with you.
Now, again, you being involved in the community, you being, moderator in groups, being the timestamp Nazi. How do you feel about like the community overall? I know you see a lot. I know you're aware of a lot. I know you're, you again, because you're so involved, you see what goes on. What do you like and dislike about everything that goes on in the community that you're aware of? Good, bad, indifferent. You let us know.
The things I like is the community that you can get if you go to the right pages. Some of the pages are more hateful than others. But then
You
there
mean
are
groups, like groups.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, groups on Facebook and whatnot, where a lot of people, you will either talk shit on other people. I also I've always been one of those people that if I have something to say to you, I'm gonna say it to you. And I'm not going to say it about you. If I say it about you, it means I probably haven't seen you first to say it to you.
No.
But it's on my to-do list is to tell you what I think. And
I've been there firsthand. He JP'd me one time. Go ahead.
that was a joke. You just don't get the jokes. But anyway, and you see a lot of the same stuff in any community, any collecting group stuff of all the different scales and stuff. You have people that, want to help newer collectors, and you have people that want to, be like, F you, I was here first.
Right.
And, if you don't get new collectors in to buy the stuff that's coming out, then you're not going to have growth in the industry.
Right.
And, I like that companies like InArt and stuff are putting out what appears to be high quality, because competition drives, increase in everyone's standards. Because it's like, if you compare the original Star Wars 12-inch ones I was talking about from the late 90s, and you put that next to a Hot Toys, it's like, well, obviously this one's better.
Right.
And, you put InArt next to a newer Hot Toys, they are pretty comparable.
Right.
Yes, if you take a 15-year-old figure, like how everyone wants to badmouth the Joker, the Heath Ledger Joker from Hot Toys, because it's
Suddenly,
old.
All of a sudden, it's crap. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have that, and it's like, yeah, you put it next to something, and that's why I was saying earlier, people spend hundreds of dollars just on heads that they have hand painted and hand rooted and everything else. Yep. And so it's like, okay, it's like painting my car a fresh coat. It's like, you can make a 20-year car look new if you just put a little effort into it.
Right.
But if it's just been sitting there, and right now, the InArt bandwagon people are kind of, they get on your nerves a little bit, where it's like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Exactly.
And as we said, it's not out yet. And, it's just like, you see a prototype car in the wild. It's like, okay, it's like some rich guy got gifted a $300,000 Audi. It was like in the first Avengers movie, when it ended, Tony Stark was in a concept car Audi.
Yes, that orange one. I remember that car. That car was beautiful.
Yeah, and that was a one-of-a-kind concept car that they let him use for that, because at the time Audi was sponsoring all the Tony Stark scenes, because rich guy needs a nice car. But when they released that car into production, it looked nothing like that concept car, because that's the whole point of a concept car, is you add extra bells and whistles and make it look super pretty. Right. And So, the bandwagon stuff gets a little old. The hating on new collectors gets a little old. But then also, people who want the answer spoon fed to them on anything rather than, putting forth any effort.
True.
Google is your friend.
It's true.
We have the expression that I would say to my soldiers when I had other people around where I wasn't supposed to be swearing. I'd say GTS. It means Google that shit. Because 9 times out of 10 you can get, you might want people's opinions and stuff, but once you've actually done a little bit of legwork, then you can ask more questions that'll actually give you better opinions. And the people like, which one should I buy, this one or this one? It's like,
Exactly.
gee, I don't know, it's your $300, so which one do you like better?
Exactly.
And
it gets into what character do you like better, what line do you like better. So it's just such a wide open question that you could get so many different. Yeah, makes sense. Very true.
But then you go to the comment sections on there, and it just it always turns real quick in one direction or another, and it's like, all right.
Yep.
Or the people that hate on distributors because they had a bad experience and the world doesn't revolve around them, and it's like, okay, it's
it's like,
you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, guys. So now we're going to go and we're going to give you guys this little, collection tour. It's actually, I watched it a couple times actually because I was like, oh my gosh, he's got a lot of stuff in there. So here we go, guys. Let me just set up real quick. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right. I think we're going to have a problem. Hold on. There we go. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, guys. You ready? Let's go. Of course, why isn't it playing?
Oh, no.
Wait, what did you send me? Did you send me a blank file? Oh, I think I know why. Unbelievable. You sent me a bootleg file.
That's right.
Hold on.
I filmed it on one of those VHS old school camcorders and was like, here you go.
That's why I need a Betamax to play it. Let me see. Stop. Okay. Here you go. Oh. Where did I have that? Where did I have that? Wait. Oh, I know why. I know what I did. The problem is that I saved it. And here we go. Told ya. What the? No. This is garbage. Okay. Guys, just give me a second. I'm just trying to. I didn't think it was going to do this to me. Okay, here we go. Let's go, guys. Let's go. All right. Where'd you go?
Me?
No, this thing. There you go. All right. Can you guys see it? Are you seeing it? All right, good. All right, guys, you ready? Let me just read these messages real quick because I missed a bunch. Thule, he sent you a virus. Thanks. Will is extremely jacked. Oh man, unbelievable. This guy. GTS. Let's see. Oh my God, I can't believe it. No, we're good. All right, guys, ready? Here we go. So I'm gonna pause, as it goes on, just so we can stop. So this was the Grogu you were talking about?
That's a custom one that I had made from a puppet maker here in Colorado back in the day.
What the?
It's
That looks like a Hot Toys one.
Yeah, the Hot Toys one is down there on the shelf.
All right, so what is this? What are we looking at here? Which
It's
Hilton?
that's the dark saber from Galaxy's Edge at Disney.
Oh, okay. And you got a lot of props too. I see the Eye of Agamotto.
Yep.
You got the little group. You got Croc Loki.
Yep. There's the Doctor Doom head.
Look at that. You got the White Sideshow Boba. I have that one too. You got Double Pack. You got Arena. You got this is what is that, Beskar? Or is
Yeah,
that's
Durasteel with all the accessories from Beskar.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, why is this got a brown chest plate? Then you got Maul. Oh, you got that Revan. Yeah, that's the one figure. You're like the only person with that Revan. And then you got, but you didn't get close. Yeah, your video skills were the worst. Oh wait.
Hey, I get close.
Oh no, I thought no, because I there was one that you didn't, but you go so fast. Yeah, this right there, that Revan. Look at that thing. That thing is a beautiful. Will being Jack isn't a joke. Don't laugh at my friend. He's insane. Oh man, that's a dark saber noob. I guess you don't know your sabers.
What did I say? You didn't know it.
I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Look at that, Axe Wolves. You got 2 Death Watches over there.
Yeah, I got one during their sales that they had going on with my rewards. It was like $110, so I was like, why not?
That's awesome. And then you got my my animation boba right next to it. Man, I can't believe I missed out on that. Oh wait, you did that. What did you do here?
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you got the that Grogu little pack, and you put the animals in here.
Oh yeah, the Loth Cat's in there with one of the Grogus, and then I bought the Mudhorn skull that they had on Sideshow as well.
How did you enjoy my posing class? Did you get a lot out of it?
You did a posing class?
Yeah, the one you took. Look at these poses, beautiful, unreal, unreal. No,
museum poses all the time.
that Revan. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Oh, the steps. I see what you did. So how come you didn't do the pieces? Remember those things sticking out of the you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like the little
yeah, like
the full pedestal with like the little goblin looking heads or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I literally that was the first time I'd ever decided I was gonna make something that big, and that's just a white foam workout mat that I cut up and glued down and just started painting. And
that looks really nice.
And so I was just I watched a couple YouTube videos. It was like, okay, this is how you try to make it look like dirt and make it look like, rock. So I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. And because the maker that was making those pedestal ones that was detolf size, that he was doing like limited runs of like 10 or so. I was supposedly on his standby list for when he announced the second run of them, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. And so I was just like, well, I'm just going to stick with what I made myself then. And because it was originally supposed to just be a temporary placeholder.
Right.
But I liked the way that it turned out, so I figured out what the hell, I would just keep it.
Nathan, my friend, what's going on? Thank you for being here. You want to answer this question for our boy Nathan?
Okay, Nathan. So that Revan is actually a custom that I purchased from a seller that about twice a year he puts up posts on a lot of the one stick scale groups, seeing if there's any interest in him doing another run of them. He 3D prints and paints everything, and he even does deluxe versions where he has like the Keanu Reeves head sculpt that he made for it because everyone always fan cast Keanu Reeves as Keanu or as Revan. So he, makes his own little holograms and does all this stuff. So it's in multiple hands that he puts in the packages with it. So he puts a lot of effort into these.
What explain to the people what is this on the left?
What, the top left?
Top left.
That is Obi-Wan Kenobi in Mandalorian armor from the Clone Wars cartoon.
How sick is this? So where'd you get this?
It was another custom that I follow random people on eBay that are always like doing little projects and whatnot. And a lot of times what I end up doing, Fabs calls me the value shopper because I'll shoot an offer to somebody and every now and again they accept it. And it's having a one of a kind type of piece like that Obi-Wan. It's the only one I've seen. So it's, I like having some things that are a little bit more unique, not to rub it in people's faces, just because I like the way that it looks in my display. Because as you just saw, those 4 detolfs are all Mandalorian themed stuff, and there's a reason that the Darth Maul is there and the Darth Revan are there. They're all linked to Mandalorian one way or the other in Star Wars lore and whatnot. So that's why those 2 were over there. Revan's actually wearing an old Mandalorian mask. If you played the video games or read any of the novels or whatnot. So yeah.
No, these are cool. So all these are obviously the 2 on the right, all the way to the right are customs. The top left is she's a sideshow figure, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I remember her. I just never picked her up. But that white one, that the ones on the right, what are those?
Republic Commando.
Yeah, because I've seen those helmets before, and I'm like, I don't recognize those things.
You don't watch the cartoons, do you?
No, that's why.
Okay, so yeah, they put out a video game mid 2000s called Republic Commando that was for the original Xbox.
Okay.
And or early 2000s at this point. Jeez, it's been a while. But it's basically like Star Wars Halo, and you're doing like squad tactics and stuff. And then they made some novels for it, and then they included them on the Clone Wars cartoon to make them canon official. And then they featured them also on the Bad Batch. And I don't think. Well, they had a retired commando on Rebels, but so they made them all canon now, which is cool. But I've always loved Republic Commando, because it's
how did you get this Obi-Wan already? You just went out for pre-order.
that is my take on Republic soldier looking General Kenobi.
You made
it's
it?
Not. I made the bodysuit and the robe pieces. The robe pieces are actually chopped up Rise of Skywalker Rey robe. I got like off like Toy Anxiety or Black Ops Toys or whatever when they part out figures.
Yeah.
Because I bought some fabric and it just wasn't looking, quality enough. It looked fake as hell. And so I figured if I took existing Hot Toy stuff and modified it, that it would do its job. And then found a guy who does 3D printing, 3D printed the armor, painted it. He has like a first order stormtrooper belt and some first order hands. Just because they were cheap. People sell them for like $1 for the hands and whatnot. So just repurposing some stuff. And it's the thing with customs. A lot of times, like if I make it myself, it looks good, but it's not gonna be like. It's not like those Republic Commandos on the right. Those are full blown. Like Floyd puts in a whole lot of effort with those. Like you can pose them. He has other hands for him. Every gun hand is actually molded to the gun, so you don't have to worry about the gun falling out of his hand. and then he gives you other hands that don't have the gun molded to it, so then you can have them do other poses and stuff like that too.
Does Black Series make these?
Black Series is currently making them, yes. They're most of them are GameStop exclusives.
Okay.
They released the boss one first, which is the yellow one in the top right, and I've seen Sev, which is the one with the bloody handprint looking thing across his face. The last time I was at GameStop, they also released them in the 3 3/4 inch scale back in the day too, in some box sets, and did a couple individual figures, but never the whole team individually. You had to buy the box set to get the full team.
Right. So you have. So this is a Sideshow Yoda, right?
No, that's Sideshow Yoda chair, but that's Attack of the Clones hot toy.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I remember seeing that chair, and I was like, "Should I get that chair?" And I don't think I got it because I was like, "Where am I going to put this chair?" So I thought,
Yeah, I got the chair and the hover pram thing for him, the hover chair. Because I bought the whole Sideshow thing just because everyone wanted way too much for just the chairs.
right.
And so then, I sold the rest of it as is because I didn't want the Sideshow Yoda, but hook somebody up with a decent price so then they could have a Yoda for their display, and I had the chairs and the holocron. If you see the holocron laying on the floor in front of Yoda.
I see. Yeah.
That's normally in Anakin's hand, but apparently it had fallen out, so it's back in Anakin's hand, Clone Wars Anakin's hand behind me right now. So,
you got Plo
yeah.
Koon from Sideshow. You got Mace from Sideshow. Look at the what do you call it? The Bad Batch looks beautiful together. Look at those colors.
Yeah.
I love that dark gray and that red.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they look beautiful. Look at Kit Fisto. He's coming soon. You got that custom Padme over there, right? And then that what's his name?
Darth Karen.
Darth Karen. Oh my god. Damn, this is you. Yeah, I remember seeing you always post like the most random stuff. And I'm like, where do you get this stuff? Look at that, guys. How insane. Wait, I gotta go back. Here we go. Look at that. So, all right. So the left is Game of Thrones. The right is Game of Thrones. Is this the same guy 3 different times? On the right?
Oh, in the top right, it's 3 different characters. They're all similar. They're all based. What's that?
I thought it was the same guy 3 times. No.
No, the 2 outside ones technically is the same figure, but they sold a regular and a deluxe version of it. Even though it's pretty much all of the White Walkers look pretty similar, and then the one in the middle is the Night King, who is like in charge of all of the snow zombies, basically.
So these two details are straight Game of Thrones.
Yep. Some custom ones, some third-party ones, a whole bunch of 3.0 ones. I started making little banners and stuff of messing around with iron-on prints from my printer just to add little background things that just sometimes, make the display a little bit more. Just trying to avoid the clutter, but these are like my most cluttered details, obviously.
All right, and some of these Asmus at all or no?
No, they're all 3.0. There's the one on the right with the Khal Drogo, aka Aquaman, Jason Momoa,
right
up there. That's I can't remember if that one, who made that one. There's some Zenization, or however you call it. They used to.
Sensation.
They haven't made it. Yeah, they haven't made anything in a while for any licenses, real or fake, and I don't know what happened to them.
Were you around for when they made that the ancient one that was like going for like $500 after a while? You remember that one? Yeah, no, I never got that one. I regretted it so bad. I got that second one they just released last year, in the beginning of the year, I think. So I bought her, but wait, you go so fast, man. It's like you blink and then it's like you're like on the other.
Well, I asked if you had any advice, and you were like, "Just
Oh
film it."
no, I didn't know you. I didn't know this was your very first video ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't do any of this, so it's
No, it's not terrible. I just gotta pause it. All right, so you got Loki's. Oh, that throne! I remember when that throne was out. That's a sick
yep.
throne. Was it? It was. Wasn't Thanos? No, it wasn't him. It was him and Black Panther. Was it? This was used for two people, for two characters. Loki was one, and there was another one, or maybe it was just Loki. I don't remember now.
For me?
No. That throne, the throne.
Oh, it's Odin is who they
Oh, that's right.
released
It
it
was
for.
Odin. Yes, that's what I thought. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Odin. Yeah, this is the one you're talking about over here, right? The pirates, the pirate guy on the left.
Yep. There's Barbosa right there with his apple, and then
Did you
me
see?
attempting.
Did you see when they somebody bought it and they retouched it up, but they repainted it and it looked beautiful?
Yeah,
I saw that. I was like, oh wow! I was like, I really want it now. I didn't
they
get
were
it.
like they were soaking the clothes in like tea bag water and all this stuff, and I was just like, I want to try it, but then if I fuck it up,
Yeah,
I'll be
it's
pissed.
not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it. Let's see. Let me see some of the comments. Commander Green says those commandos are fire. Austin says Karen, the chosen one. One of the best. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. Fab, you have it. Wait, what did he say?
You
Fab,
said you haven't seen Game of Thrones
no, not at all. Not at all.
because you said you hadn't seen The Sopranos, and people were like, "Oh no!"
I'll tell you. No Sopranos. No Game of Thrones. That new show that's out right now that's supposed to be like sequel of the Game of Thrones. What's it called? The Dragon something?
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. I never saw what was that drug show? The Teacher, Breaking Bad.
Right there.
I never saw exactly. I never saw any of these shows. Like I was never a TV watcher like that. Like I watch movies more than anything, but never TV show. Even my very first show that I tried to watch, comic book related, was Smallville. And I remember watching the first 3 episodes, and then I don't know what happened. Like I don't like being like don't leave me hanging. Like you know what I mean? Like a movie, I like movies because I can, I need an ending to my stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't like shows too much because it's like you got to wait till the following week to see what happens. Every week to see, and I I don't really care for that.
Well, the good news is now a whole lot of these shows are complete, so you can watch them from start to finish and get the complete story.
That's true. I got to do that. That kid, look at this guy. He's always talking smack. He doesn't. Unbelievable. Let's see. Come on, talk about. Yeah, he's got really cool stuff. Dude, have it.
Yeah, the Killmonger and the Tom Hiddleston Loki on the throne are both my wife's. I got those for Evie because she really enjoys movies with Michael B. Jordan and Tom Hiddleston. So I got her 2 little hot toys of her little dudes.
This is the Stanley you were talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah, with the green. Yeah, this is.
And that was my first attempt at making a full room diorama.
Oh, that looks really good. I remember when you posted, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I went through several iterations and I think it was like a 5-day span. I did 3 full versions. I would watch TV with my kids, and I'd be like on the floor with like a broken down cardboard box on the ground, just like hot gluing things together on top of it, so I don't make a mess on the carpet. Sorry, Evie, if you watch this. Sorry, I was using hot glue in the living room.
No, it's beautiful. When you posted it, I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "That's insane." This is that third party Indiana Jones, right?
Yes, that's the crap, drawing a blank of what it was called. Raider Jones from
Present Toys, Daft Toys.
No.
Yeah, it's not Mars Toys. It's not Present Toys. It's not Mars Toys. It's Mars Toys.
I don't know.
This company made another figure that shoe again. It's either Present Toys, it's either Present Toys or Daft Toys. One of those two, isn't it?
Present Toys, yeah.
Yeah, present toy. That's what I thought.
I knew it wasn't Daft Toys though. That's what I said no to. It was
I
just
always get confused with those two. That's why I always mention them at the same time because I never know what's what. Look at that.
and back up there with Stan Lee on the little dresser is actually a 1/4 scale Baby Groot.
I saw it. I saw it right there. Yeah.
It's my only quarter scale in my collection.
I saw it. I was like, it's like a little plant. How many of these Hall of Armors do you have? Just one?
Just one.
See, I never got into them because I don't know if you remember when they were first announced. You could either buy 3 or buy 7.
Yeah.
And I had to buy them. You know, I wanted all 7 because I had every. You know, and then when they made for the Iron Man 3 the stackable ones, I was like, I am so glad I didn't get a single one because I would have a stack of Iron Man against the wall right now, like insane. So
yeah, you don't have the space for it.
Exactly. Things happen for a reason. I mean, having every single Iron Man and having every single one of them inside a whole armor, do you know how beautiful that would look? But it's not doable for me.
Yeah, I modded that Thanos throne and made the little clear tubes shorter so then he would fit into it.
Why does he look so tight?
Yeah, I still raised the shelves above him on all 4 of those detolfs because of Thanos's height. And I couldn't have one that was up higher because it was bothering me, so I needed all of them to be at the same level.
How did you keep the shelf? Like, what did you do? What did you use?
I have the on Etsy. They sell these little clips that people 3D print for detolf shelves to raise them up.
Yeah, I see.
I went to the hardware store and I bought these metal U-bolts, and then I put these rubber stoppers on top of them, and I used that for a little bit until I got the other ones in. So then I, switched it out. That way it was plastic underneath glass instead of metal, even though I had a little rubber stoppy thingy on it. So, whoop, whoop. Told you, old school camcorder.
Look at those video skills. All right, so that was awesome. Thank you for doing that. Now, should we? I usually tell all the guests to bring a figure, and it's usually the person's one of the person's favorite figure, if not their favorite. So, what figure did you pick out for us for tonight? Explain why. What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it?
Today I used the DX18 Darth Maul from Solo. There he goes. Look at the camera guy. Whoop.
No speeder.
What's that?
No Sith speeder.
Nope, that's the 17.
Oh, the 17.
This Darksaber that he has is actually a custom one that has a rechargeable battery that you could put in it and whatnot, but normally I don't keep batteries in anything. I really like Darth Maul. They brought him back to life, in the cartoons that you don't watch. Then, so, it is what it is. But you saw him in Solo for 3 whole seconds, and that's why they made the new figure for it. But part of my love of this figure is actually the story that goes with it. I went to my local comic book store here. They were having a signing in Ray Park. Came down to Colorado Springs. So he, was signing and he played with my Maul. That's kind of weird to say. But he asked if he could pick it up and play with it because he said he hadn't seen this specific one before, that he had seen the other Hot Toys ones, I assume, the 16 and 17 from back in the day. But he said he had never seen the DX18. So he signed that, and it was a fun experience. He was great to talk to. He talked to everybody as long as they wanted to talk to him. I also took this there with me, and he signed that as well. That's just a head inside this box that I bought off of eBay from some recaster for like $20.
Oh my!
And I bought the empty box off of eBay for $20. And so it's, it's all part of balling on a budget and all that. And, Darth Maul, if you ever do watch the cartoon, spoiler alert, he had the Darksaber. which is why he's holding the Darksaber in my display, because he chopped off Jon Favreau's head and became Mandalore and took control of Death Watch. So there's a whole lot of lore and stuff that goes with that. If you notice the armorer's helmet, she has these little spike-looking things on her head that might be there for a reason. Maybe we'll find out more about that in season 3 of The Mandalorian, coming the 1st of March on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But
you just spoiled the show for a ton of people, I'm assuming.
If they watch the cartoon, then it's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. The Thor says, "Who hurt you, Fab? I'm starting to go for this guy." No, I'm telling you, for some reason, it was never, I was always out at the gym. I was always doing something. I was never like home, just sitting home watching TV. It's just not what I did, So, and I know, the magnitude of like how popular these shows and how monumental and how big and how special. I know all this, but I just never, I never watched it.
And now, in asking about, I'm sorry, what?
No, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and now that it's so easy to literally just stream anything, just binge watch, all day, every day. But it's like I don't, if I didn't do it then, I'm definitely not gonna do it now. What were you saying?
Well, you said things that you like and dislike about the figure.
Yeah.
I know, all the modern hot toys are coming out and they all have the rolling eyeball features and whatnot. But this being a DX, has the purse system. The magnet neck is nice, even though this specific figure only did come with the one head sculpt. I wish that it had come with the second one, because that was a nice thing with the DX 16 and 17. Where it had the angry head skull, as they call it, where it's just, you can display it a couple different ways. I know in Solo, he, obviously didn't have an angry face because it was just a hologram and he talked for, 20 seconds and that was it. But that would have been nice for it to come with. As you touched on your stream on Saturday, the DXs are, you're getting less bang for your buck in comparison to the standard figures, which is great for the standard figures for them coming with more stuff. But, just the extra little head sculpt thing would have been cool. I do like that, he has the full body tattoo.
Yes.
It's not on the arms like on the Clone Wars one, but I like the look of this one. He still has the robot legs, just making it more of the current state of the person, even though you know how it all ends if you watch Rebels. Watch the cartoons, Fabs.
One day.
But
I just realized you said DX18.
Yes.
I was thinking that because that's the Solo one. I was thinking that was the other one with the speeder. That's why I said, "Oh, you didn't come with the bike," because it looks exactly the same. Obviously, no metal legs, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, but I think the 16 and the 17 didn't have the body tattoos.
Right, yeah, they were just plain. All right, are you getting anything new in the mail that you're excited for? Did you order anything recently?
Yes, I am excited for my churro to show up on Wednesday. I lucked. You're so mad. I lucked into a Avengers Campus Spider-Man with churro from the D23 exclusive. When we went to Disney last Christmas, we actually spent Christmas Day at Disney. And it was a lot of fun going to do the actual Spider-Man ride, where it's all like interactive, where you have to literally be flinging webs with your hands the entire time you're on this like 4-minute long ride. So the Avengers Campus stuff was a lot of fun. All the accessories that come with it are from the ride and from the little videos and stuff that they play beforehand, where Tom Holland's a hologram talking to you. They have some really neat technology at Disney's nowadays if you haven't been.
That's cool.
But so when I found the deal, I jumped on it because it was a lot of fun, the memory as well as the toy being really nice. I've wanted a Spider-Man for a while, and I bought and sold a couple. But what I really like about the D23 one is that the clothing on it is fabric,
Right.
as opposed to the
Yeah,
like
that rubbery.
yeah,
Yeah.
the rubbery one that it like folds and
Yep.
leaves creases
Yep.
and can get permanently damaged.
Yep.
And so that was why I wanted this one when it came out, and I didn't I didn't have a chance before now to get one because it was a D23 exclusive, and then when they released it in small numbers, where was that, at Shanghai where they did that?
What?
Where they released the ones without the churro?
No. This was the D23 was the churro, and then the other one was, I think, strictly overseas. Yeah, it wasn't. It was. I
Yeah,
don't know if it was Shanghai
yeah,
specifically.
it was somewhere, and
Yeah, it
I
wasn't.
I I couldn't find one for a decent price where it was just
Nope.
the scalpers were going nuts, and so then it was just like, all right.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I'm expecting this week is my Infinity Wars Star Lord that Austin has his sitting there wrapped in plastic because he doesn't open toys because
He's got
he ha-
30 boxes still sealed. This
he
guy.
has all these excuses in the world. That's right, Austin. You have all of these excuses of like, oh, I need Rachel to help me open it. Oh, well, we got to make a date night of it. Have more date nights, dude. Let's do this. Open them. I know he's waiting to move, and he's getting He's
He's
like, Flavio, I have custom shelves. That's why. That's why. But Austin, you have a nice collection, dude. Oh,
It's okay. Don't blow
it's
his head.
okay.
It's okay. It's decent.
But yeah, we both ordered those from Australia because Pop Culture was having a deal. And, if you've ever ordered from them, sometimes it's kind of slow because, you're getting a deal. And when it's like less than half price, brand new, and they're an official Sideshow distributor, it's just they get stock after everybody else.
Of course, that's the problem. When people order, like when I order from Sideshow, I order from Sideshow just because I know that I'm going to be the first one to get it. Yeah, I'm paying more. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, it's that. Whatever. But I know I'm going to be the first one to get it. There's no telling when these other licensed distributors will get their stuff because Sideshow gets them first. They distribute some to their customers and then to the other retailers. And then when they get other batches, then they keep sharing them. But I think it's for me. I think it's worth it ordering from them just because I know once they come in, in stock, I'm gonna get mine. Whenever I'm supposed to. You know what I mean? So I love being able to do that. Braden in the house. What's up, Braden? Thank you for being here. Peyton also in the house. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Unbelievable, this guy. It was. Will knows me so well. See?
Where's Rachel?
Where's Rachel? Oh, man. All right, guys. So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you guys had fun meeting William. You're probably going to see him now more often. His name is going to probably stand out more in the groups. If you post something to sell and you forget your timestamp, you better believe he will be there.
That's on one group.
On your ass about it. But again, as always, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you again tomorrow, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Hopefully Dila will make it. If not, it'll be me by myself. Again, guys, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Have a good evening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.